named Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the man got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this Monday evening. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have been waiting anxiously for summer, my first question to you is why? Anyway, it is summertime in the city, and it's 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time for an all-new and live edition of Real Talk Memphis, right here on WYXR 91.7 on your FM dial. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington, as the theme said, and it's great to be here. Traffic wasn't bad getting down here today. It's a rare occurrence, but very happy to be here on this very hot this afternoon when I got out of the car. It said 94 degrees, and the heat index is over 100 degrees right now. So again, on the serious note, please, ma'am, please, sir, watch out for this heat, because it doesn't take long for it to do bad things to your body. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. You know, when you say fluids, and people, take that to be very literal, some folks. I'm not looking at you, Lola. I am not. I'm just saying, we drink plenty of water out there and stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't want anything to happen to you. Check on your elderly folks, too. Check on the seniors, make sure that they're okay. What did you say? In my pet? Oh, yes, and the pets. Absolutely, yes. She's absolutely right. Check on your pets as well. So there you go. There you go. We have a great show for you lined up this evening. I hope that whatever you do, you did all your business outside. You're coming inside cool, relaxed, and, hang out with us for the next hour. I think you might enjoy the broadcast. By the way, speaking of heat, the cooling centers are open. So for those of you who need to cool down and don't have that option where you live or wherever, go to the cooling center. They are open and available for you. You can get this nice piece of radio broadcasting wherever, within several locations, actually. I mentioned one, live now, 91.7 FM on your radio dial. You can also catch us on the WYXR app. You can also find us on the TuneIn app. And we are live streaming tonight on Facebook Live. So if that's your thing, head over to my page and you can check out the show live. When the show posts in the next day or so, you can find us a little bit later on this week on YouTube. And did you know we are a podcast? Well, we are a podcast, and you can find us after the show post wherever it is you get your podcast. I'm looking at myself right now on the screen, and I look dark. I look like I got a tan or something. Do I look dark to you, Lola? Do I look like a... Maybe it's just the screen. Okay. Not, just a little bit, just a little tan. You got tan, too. Arizona. Lola was in Arizona last week. She said it was 113 degrees outside for a concert. But, is there any consolation in saying it's a dry heat? Probably not. Yeah, it didn't really. It didn't really register. Anyway, glad to have you all along for the ride this evening. Who do we have? I'm glad you asked that question. Well, my first guest in just a couple of minutes is Kermit Moore. Kermit is the Memphis chapter area president of the National Association of Colored People, or NAACP. He will be joining me in just a few minutes, along with Aubrey Connor, who is an attorney. There was a lawsuit that was talked about a week or so ago, levied at the XAI folks on behalf of the NAACP, in reference to, of course, this project that a lot of folks have lots of questions about, serious questions, and really doubts about as well. So he's going to come on and talk to us a little bit about the action of the NAACP and what they are hoping to gain from all of this. A little bit later on, another issue that is still hot button around with everything else going on in this country, immigration is still pretty close to the top. And a lot of folks are very concerned about their own safety and their own welfare, and somebody's pulling up on them and grabbing them and putting them in a van and taking them God knows where. So I wanted to get an update on that. Lily Axelrod, never been on the show before. She is an immigration attorney. She will be talking with us about this current situation and what folks need to know and be prepared for. A little bit later on in the show, we are going to be talking with Reverend Jim Harbin, Jr. He's the program director over a program that Agape, you all know Agape, the Children and Family Services Organization. They're going to be hosting a series of workshops this week for single folks, for married folks, and for men and or fathers. And they're going to be free sessions. We need a lot of help in the family department in a lot of different ways. So he's going to talk with us about these free sessions that are going to be happening, sponsored by Agape Children and Family Services, coming up this weekend. So there you go. We have all of that to talk about. But before we do that, June is a big birthday month, and a lot of folks had birthdays today. So let's get to the roll call, but I can't do that until I say, hit it, Lola. All right, here we go. Lita McCullough Selitsky. I know her. Happy birthday, Lita. Brenda Dickerson celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to Tom Peace, to Robert McCune. Happy birthday going out to Rodney Moore Sr. Beryl Wiggett celebrating her birthday today. Jason Kopacko, celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday to Andrata. I don't think I typed down Andrata's name, so I should, move on. Doris Martinez, happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to Wayne Schneider. You got one, Lola? Or
I
two?
do have one. I have one. Happy birthday to Frankie Anderson. Happy birthday, boss.
That's your boss?
I do gig over at 111 from time to time.
Okay.
So
right.
shout out 111 Madison and Mr. Frankie Anderson, the big 5-0.
Uh-oh, there you go. That half century deal. Happy birthday, Frankie, and happy birthday to each and every one of you out there celebrating on this day. I hope it's been filled with love and fun and laughter. And, of course, we hope to be around next year for your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Lola. So many people are still talking about the death of the founder of FedEx. Fred Smith died Saturday evening at the age of 80. Of course, he was the founder of FedEx, as we all know it. So many people in this city at one point or another worked at FedEx. Whether it was loading the trucks or any other various number of positions. He was by all means, as the paper said, a great Memphian. He was a very important person, and he was very selfless in what he did for this community. He loved Memphis, and he loved to see Memphis thrive. He gave, he contributed to so many. He contributed financially in a lot of other ways. It's a big loss for a lot of folks. There have been a lot of tributes that have occurred as a result of all of that. It's a sad loss for a lot of folks. He was 80 years old. And again, FedEx will move on, but it has left its mark not only here domestically, but worldwide. So again, our deepest condolences to all of those who knew Mr. Fred Smith and all, of course, his family members and friends and colleagues, so many who are dealing with that loss today. Quick look at news and notes. President Trump, of course, dropped 3 bunker bombs over the weekend on military sites in Iran. Iran's been in a big war with going back and forth with Israel. Well, he dropped 3 of these bunker bombs Saturday night, which kind of put us in the middle of all of this. We saw today that Iran fired about 10 to 12 missiles in Qatar, which is an American base in Qatar. They were fired upon this afternoon, or I don't know, they're several hours ahead of us there. But there were no casualties on either side. So we will see exactly what happened. I did see a news flash this afternoon, according to President Trump, that Israel and Iran have agreed to a ceasefire. So if that is the case, of course, that is good news, but we'll have to keep a watch on this very, very carefully to see what happens. This is something that is related to what we're going to be talking about with Kermit soon. And this has to do with XAI. Mayor Lee Harris named 2 nominees for the Air Pollution Control Board today. Keyshawn Pearson, who has been a guest on this show, and Sarah Houston, who was just a guest on this show a week or so ago, are named, he's been nominated by the mayor to be on the Air Pollution Control Board, which I think has something to do with the Shelby County Health Department, who we're still waiting on to find out exactly how harmful all of this stuff is that folks are breathing out there in terms of these gas turbines. But in any event, my philosophy on this one is pretty simple. I know both of them, and I know that they're staunch advocates to remove XAI, all traces of it, and everything else, especially Keyshawn. So Keyshawn Pearson and his brother Justin Pearson, the representative Justin Pearson. So we'll see how all of this holds. First of all, if they wind up on this control board, they will have autonomy and they will have a decision as to what happens around here in terms of pollution. So if that's the case, wonder what's going to happen with XAI as things move along. That is a quick look at news and notes. Of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship last night by defeating the Indiana Pacers. Their first championship, I think, in history. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe so, if not pretty close. Absolutely the first one in Oklahoma. So congratulations to all those folks there. That's a quick look at news and notes. We will take a time out, and when we come back, what do you say we kickstart this show? Yeah, I think that's a good idea, too. Let's take a quick break. I am Chip. You know who you are. Let's take a quick break, come back, and do it on this Monday evening. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from the Orpheum Theater Group, presenting Mending Hearts Camp this July. Mending Hearts is a performing arts day camp for young people who have experienced the death of one or both parents. Surrounded by a community of peers who have experienced a similar loss, campers explore their creativity through a variety of performing arts and community building activities. You can learn more at orpheum-memphis.com/mendinghearts.
This Black Music Month, WYXR presents the 3rd annual Dowd Awards, honoring 9 Memphians whose work in music and service has made a lasting impact on our city. This year's honorees include Curl, Paul, and Alvin McKinney, Mark Stansberry, Johnny Walker, Ray Griffin, Lenny McMillan, Antonio Touche Parkinson, and Kurt K.C. Clay. The ceremony takes place Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. at the National Civil Rights Museum. Admission is free with RSVP. Reserve your seat today at dowd.wyxr.org. The 2025 Dowd Awards are sponsored by the National Civil Rights Museum, Memphis Grizzlies, Iris Etc. Catering, and the Germantown Performing Arts Center.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. It is June 23rd, 2025. And as I alluded to at the top of the broadcast, one of the many issues going on in this country, and probably the biggest, is this immigration issue issued by the president, who, when this all started and when he was in his campaign mode, he said, we're going to remove the criminals and the drug dealers and the dope dealers and all of those who mean harm to so many folks. Well, that has evolved into something completely different. And for many folks out here, they're being attacked and taken for really no reason at all. So I thought it was important enough because we are a sanctuary city. And he seems to have his target on democratically run sanctuary cities, the president does. And I thought it would be important to have a conversation with somebody who can kind of enlighten us on what is going on out here with the immigration issue. Please welcome to the show Attorney Lily Axelrod. She is an immigration attorney here in the city. And Lily, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. And welcome to Real Talk Memphis.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for your attention to these issues.
Well, this is something that it seems to have a different life force every week, and every other week, every other day. Of course, we all know what happened in California, which happens to be my home state. And LA is my home city. We saw that whole thing unfold, and it was pretty messy. And I wanted to talk to you about where things stand right now, because it seems like, I don't know, for some people it might be getting worse. There are people who are immigrants who are basically living in hiding. For kids who go to school, they're not going to school. Where are we here in the Memphis area in reference to the immigration situation as you see it?
So, as you say, this is a really scary time for non-citizens, from everybody, from permanent residents to people who might be here with a work visa or some kind of humanitarian protection. And of course, people who are here maybe applying for asylum, or maybe they don't have status at all. And across the board, like you say, we've been seeing the Trump administration basically trying to put everyone in fear, trying to take a new action every week that will scare folks, that will intimidate folks, from detaining people at the airports for simple paperwork problems, to going in to arrest people who are showing up for their scheduled court hearings, work employment site raids, like we have seen already here in Memphis. So here in Memphis, we are seeing, a microcosm of what's going on nationally. A lot of my clients and friends are anxious. And so my message to folks is to don't panic, but yes, do prepare. What kind of risk you have depends on what kind of status you have and on your background. So of course, if you have an immigration attorney, it's a good time to catch up with them and make sure that you're doing everything you should be doing for your case. And if you don't, now is a good time to consult and see. A lot of folks might actually have legal options that they don't know about, such as protections for victims of human trafficking, domestic violence, abused, neglected, abandoned children, even folks who have gone through certain abuses in the workplace.
So obviously there are protections, as you just described, and I guess more and more people, I think your phone is probably becoming busier and busier these days with folks asking questions, seeking help in reference to all of this. We have seen cases across the country, Lily, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, where folks have been falsely arrested and due to the protest of people in these certain towns and communities where these incidents are happening, they have been let go after a certain point in time, what does that tell you about exactly, where all this is going? Because it seems pretty willy-nilly, because there are folks that are being arrested in California. It was at a Home Depot. I mean, they were staged outside of Home Depot and snatching folks when they walked out of the store. I'm a big baseball fan. In Dodger Stadium a few days ago, several ICE agents showed up out there looking to arrest. Now, Los Angeles is a minority majority, which means the Hispanic population is the majority population out there. So going to Dodger Stadium, they knew a lot of them worked there. A lot of folks went there. I mean, so, but basically back to, some of these cases that we're seeing of people being taken just discriminately. It seems to be changing time after time. Does that concern you at all in terms of just the clear? It doesn't seem to me like there's a very clear, defined line as to, what one is supposed to do or who they're supposed to take or anything else. Please try to break that down for me. I don't know if it makes sense, but if you
Absolutely, that does make sense. And it is a scary thing, right? Even all of us, of course, have loved ones and colleagues and neighbors who are not citizens. But even if you are a U.S. citizen, you should be concerned about this for yourself, because immigration enforcement does not have authority to arrest a U.S. citizen. They can ask you if you're driving to show your license. They can ask you for your immigration papers if you're coming in through the border, but they do not have the authority to arrest a U.S. citizen. But if there is no process for folks to show that they are a citizen or to show what their immigration status is, and if the federal authorities are allowed to arrest citizens illegally without any kind of guarantee that they'll be given an opportunity to show who they are, that is a risk for all of us. I don't think any of us, when we say the Pledge of Allegiance in school, had in mind that liberty and justice for all meant that the government could come to our house wearing masks and arrest us for no reason at all and not tell us where we're going or on what authority they have to arrest us. So that is very troubling, and I do think that U.S. citizens should be contacting their members of Congress about it.
Yeah, and I think that once again, there are people in certain places. My wife works at a school which is mostly Hispanic, and they've seen some ICE agents roaming around there. They're not allowed to, in terms of the educational aspect of things, they're not allowed to enter a school or on a school campus. Is that true?
So unfortunately, that's not true.
Wow.
Until recently, there was a policy within ICE, so not a law by Congress, but just an internal policy for sensitive locations such as schools or churches, synagogues, mosques, hospitals, basically saying that unless there was a really emergency situation, that they would, allow folks to that they would not prioritize entering those places. However, the Trump administration rescinded that memo, meaning that anywhere is fair game. So the thing that it's important for business owners, for schools, for hospital administrators, anyone to know is that ICE can be anywhere that the public can be, but they can't come into a private area of your home or your business without either your permission or a judicial warrant, which they almost never have. Even if they have a arrest warrant for a person, that does not give them the right to go into the back area of your restaurant, to come into the closed doors of my office, to go into a school that is closed to the public, or a teacher's classroom that's not open to the public. So it's incumbent on all of us who inhabit these spaces to know that, and to know that we are going to have to be more assertive and not letting people inside and not answering questions.
Do you think enough people know what the do's and don'ts are, or what the rules and laws are in reference to this? Because I'm told, and I'm told this from people that I know, especially for young people, a lot of them aren't even going to school. I mean, I hear school is out, but I'm just saying for the summer. But a lot of them are afraid to leave their houses. A lot of them are afraid to go to school. This is almost borders on inhumane to me, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, it's not right. That's not the kind of society that I want to live in, that children are hiding at home and afraid to get education, or people are afraid to go to the hospital in an emergency. And I agree, folks don't know. And that is what ICE is counting on, right? They're counting on being able to show you a picture and say, hey, we're looking for this armed and dangerous criminal. Won't you help us? Have you seen him? And then they get you into a conversation, or banging on your door and saying, you have to let us in, right? They're counting on that people will be intimidated by a vest or a badge.
Under false pretenses, clearly, in terms of all of this. So how do you see
and
this?
That's not new, that false pretenses, and generally anything that you've been told about police, you have the right to remain silent. The technicalities are different in immigration court, but the advice is the same. Other than if you are being stopped while driving a vehicle, you have to identify yourself and show that you're licensed to drive. But other than that, if ICE is asking questions at your business, at your home, don't answer the door, don't let them in, don't even start a conversation.
Wow, that when you hear it like that is pretty telling. Can you help people who are outside of the process of trying to become a citizen? Been here for going through the paperwork and all of that process and everything. Can you really help? Can you help folks outside who fall outside of that particular parameter in terms of, other than maybe counsel or advice? Legally, there's nothing you can do, correct?
So a lot of folks think that immigration is just you get in a line, you file some papers, and eventually you become a citizen.
Right.
The reality is that there are dozens of pathways to citizenship and permanent residence. Some of them are through employment, some of them are through family, some are humanitarian. And so you can't know just by talking to someone or just by looking at someone what their legal status is or what their options might be. So a lot of times people are here without status, and they maybe came with a visa and overstayed, and they don't know what options they might have.
Right.
But as you say, the reality is that there are folks who I consult with and who I run through their entire history, and who there just aren't any legal options for. I tell folks all the time, they would love to be able to pay a fine, to be able to do fingerprints, to wait in whatever line that there might be. But unfortunately, the way our laws are, there are a lot of folks who just don't have options to apply for legal status right now. And it's a scary time for them.
It truly is, based on what you said, and I really appreciate you taking the time, because I think sometimes when we let these issues just kind of pass us by and we don't stop and ask a question or two, then folks become even more lost in the process. I hope you don't mind. I may have to reach out to you down the road, depending on how things, because now I'm to understand nationally, the president has doubled down on these democratically run cities out here with a high immigrant population. So it looks as if to me like he's waging war, and he's going to continue doing it until at whatever point he feels like not doing it. Sanctuary cities, that's what I was trying to think of. He's doubling down on sanctuary cities, democratically run sanctuary cities in this country, which is a very scary thing. But I really appreciate you taking the time to come on this show tonight and to kind of walk us through this. Let people know, keep your guard up, right? Stay vigilant. That really is the message here, is it not? That's
true. And if you can record, because if you are able to, even especially live stream, so they can't confiscate your phone and delete it. If you are a U.S. citizen, especially, and you see something happening in your neighborhood or at work, if somebody's trying to fight the legality of their arrest and it's their word against an ICE officers, it sure does help to have an unbiased recording of what really happened. Very, very good advice. Lily Axelrod, ladies and gentlemen, she is an immigration attorney here in the city of Memphis. Lily, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time and, more importantly, your knowledge and information, and I hope we'll be communicating again down the road. Thank you. Likewise. Thanks for having me, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Look, you know what? You have to pay attention to what is going on out here, because there's so much happening and there's so much confusion around certain issues. This is one of those that you really need to stay vigilant, as she said, in reference to this entire process. Really appreciate her coming on the show. Let us take our first break, or second break, actually, and then when we come back, we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about XAI, and we're going to talk about
about the lawsuit that has been filed on behalf of the NAACP. This is Real Talk Memphis. I am Chip. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR, including our 2025 Dowd Awards, comes from GPAC. Tickets are now on sale for season 31, featuring Herbie Hancock, Marcus Miller, Candace Springs, and more. More information on tickets and the full season lineup can be found at gpacweb.com. Support for WYXR comes from the Orpheum Theater Group, presenting Musical Theater Intensive for high school students and recent graduates. This 2-week training program in June will immerse students in the musical Hadestown with a foundational training for those considering auditioning for college theater programs or pursuing careers in musical theater. You can learn more at orpheum-memphis.com/camps.
Support for WYXR comes from Playhouse on the Square, presenting A Bronx Tale June 13th through July 13th, a musical adaptation of the play and film set in the Bronx in the 1960s about a young man torn between his admiration for his father and the allure of becoming a mob boss. Tickets and more information at playhouseonthesquare.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. And this is a very important conversation that we're about to have about a very important issue that many folks believe is the case. We all know about XAI. And they're over in the southwestern corner of the city of Memphis. They have these gas turbines that are emitting some type of, possibly some type of pollution out there. Well, a lot of folks and more folks are getting on the bandwagon about not trusting this whole issue, not feeling safe or comfortable with it. Last week, a lawsuit was filed by the Southern Environmental Law Center on behalf of the NAACP to XAI, signaling their intent to sue over the company's continued use of these unpermitted gas turbines over in South Memphis. I'm very happy to have on the show tonight the Memphis chapter president of the NAACP. He is Kermit Moore, along with Aubrey Connor. She joins him as well. Now, she's the director of environmental and climate justice policy and legislative affairs. And both of you, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. I really appreciate it. Good to see you tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely that. Okay, Kermit, this is a big deal. Now the national president of the NAACP, I know, drafted a letter to the XAI folks about this, not feeling too comfortable about it, and really, demanding that they kind of halt the process out there. Again, as I mentioned, the lawsuit, the intent to file a lawsuit on behalf of the local NAACP here has been filed as well. Why did you feel like this was a necessary action?
It's necessary because nothing has been clear. No one has told the truth about what's going on at Colossus. So that's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of it.
So
through legal action.
Right. And I saw your press conference, and a lot of folks, about this. It does seem that the word has spread among the community. A lot of folks, not only in that particular part of town, but a lot of other folks, legislators, a lot of people are getting behind this effort. Why is that such an important component, Kermit? A lot of folks are really starting to latch on to this and really feeling uncomfortable about things that happen. One of the things I've heard is, when they have these projects, they always want to go to the most impoverished part or one of the most impoverished parts of the city, and they always pick that part of town to be able to do that. But why is this galvanizing so much steam and importance to the community, in your opinion?
Because right now Memphis is already toxic, according to the EPA, and with 35 turbines going, polluting the air in South and Southwest Memphis, we can't handle it. And people are joining because the air don't stay in 38109 or 38106.
Mm-hmm.
The air spreads. And if we don't get a stop to this now, other areas will be receiving the same kind of health issues that are in 38109.
Aubrey, what can you add to this? Obviously, from the legislative perspective of all this, and from the legal perspective of all of this, this is a very serious issue, and I think a lot of it is based on trust, or in this case, a lack of trust, even with our city officials. Like, we've seen politicians saying that the mayors need to get into this. A lot of other folks need to get into this. I've been wondering where the health department is in all of this, as well, for quite some time. Please add to this conversation.
Yeah, well, again, thanks so much for ensuring that folks understand, all the different pieces that are involved here. And President Moore is absolutely right. This is an issue that is a larger conversation. We know that XAI and Colossus, that if they're operating gas turbines, they're operating 35 gas turbines. There are laws, there are rules that are in place that they are supposed to have to follow. We have the Clean Air Act, which has been in place for decades. And so you can't just operate gas turbines and say, oh, we don't need to have any type of regulation about that at all. There are rules that are in place about local, county, and state agencies who are also supposed to ensure that XAI and Colossus, that they're following the rules. So the health department, for example, is one of those agencies. They have the authority to be able to say whether or not XAI is potentially causing a danger to the health of the residents in Memphis and in South Memphis as well. And so these are some of the agencies. It's not just the health department, any department, quite frankly, that is taking money from the public through tax dollars or otherwise. That means that they have a right to answer back to the public as well about any operations, any conversations, any negotiations that they're doing. The public has a right to know. And to President Moore's point, there hasn't been transparency with those individuals who are supposed to be representing the residents, not Colossus, not XAI.
So the last thing I heard in reference to this, we have to find out, I think we still have to find out whether or not there is actual pollution, or how much pollution, Kermit, is coming off of those turbines from the Shelby County Health Department. And I do know that there has been a lot of conversation and a lot of push to try to get them to say something. I don't know how long this process takes to test the air quality and everything like that, but it seems to be taking an inordinate amount of time to come up with a decision one way or another. Is this another reason why you all are saying, look, no, time out for this? We need to make sure that people know we're serious about our intent to find out what this is all about.
We waited long enough. The questions have been asked for over a year now. And folks dance around and say, well, we only have 12 turbines that are burning. But satellite images show 35 burning. And it don't take that long to get air quality, but they haven't followed any of the standards that should be followed.
Well, again, as we get into all of this, there's a 60-day window here, I believe, right? An intent to sue. So between now and that 60-day period, Aubrey, what are you all looking for? What are you expecting, from this?
Yeah, well, the law requires us to file the notice of intent to sue. And so there has been some questions from individuals like, well, why don't you just file the lawsuit right now? This is a requirement under the law to file a notice of intent to sue.
Right.
To hopefully give XAI an opportunity to do the right thing. So this is another window of opportunity for them to actually, do something to actually help the health of the residents in Memphis and in South Memphis. And if they squander that opportunity of the 60 days, I think that it's clear that by filing a notice of intent to sue, that we're willing to look into and to pursue any legal and policy actions that are necessary in order for us to stand with the residents in Memphis.
Now I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second because one of the arguments, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, is from people. They say, well, we've had this problem for a long time, polluted air over in that part of town. The Valero factory, it's shooting off whatever it's shooting off out there. And folks are using that as a reason to say, you know what, this is just something that has happened for a very, very long time. I contend that people are tired of this. I mean, after a certain point in time, you can only get beat over the head so much, and then it's like, here we go again. Am I right about that, Kermit? Does that sound about right to you?
We are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Okay.
Just because you have dumped on me before means to tell me I'm going to continue to let you do it. This is bull. Our people are dying. Our children are going to the emergency room with asthma problems. We have the highest cancer rate in the country. And we're going to let some more. We just got rid of sterilized USA because they were polluting for 50 years and nobody knew about it. And we're not going to continue. Folks want to make this a Elon Musk fight. This is a fight for the people, by the people, to stop getting crapped on.
I've always embraced protest, and a lot of folks are protesting this, and a lot of folks are really engaged in this process, which is really what you have to have in order to launch a successful campaign like this. It's getting attention not only here, but it's starting to get attention across the country as well. People are paying attention to what is happening here. I'm clear on your intent. I'm clear on what the end result is that you hope to have. Do you see, I'll ask you this question, do you see a lot of people are saying that Mayor Young ought to get involved in this some way? This is part of his city, or the county mayor who actually selected and appointed 2 people to the Air Pollution Control Board today. I thought that was funny. One of them was Keyshawn Pearson, who is a definite guy who was like, absolutely not. And Sarah Houston, who's over Protect Our Aquifer. But I'm wondering, in adding these 2 or nominating these 2, is he trying to send a message to all of this? And will their nomination, should they be selected to this air pollution board, will it have enough weight? I know you'll be watching this very carefully. Am I correct?
Yeah. I think that it's important. I mean, I think it goes to show what President Moore was stating, that this is about the pressure that the people in the community are putting on their elected officials to do something different. And so it's important for the individuals who come from the community, who their voices represent the individuals who have been impacted, for them to be in those positions. Now, will that necessarily make a change right away? Time will tell, but it is an important step. in order for there to be people from the community who can say, no, we don't think that it's okay for there to, for example, be 35 gas turbines that are operating and in our community, and that's going to be okay. And so having individuals in those spaces are really important. It's also going to be important for those who've been elected on behalf of the residents to actually represent the wants and needs of the community there. And the community, to President Moore's point, has been stating for the last year, they want transparency. It's important. This is a fight for the lives of the health of the residents in South Memphis.
Yeah.
This is a fight to ensure that we're not perpetuating environmental racism any longer. And that is what their job is, to listen to the will of the people and to respond accordingly.
Well, listen, we will obviously stay on top of this. We will continue to have conversations about it because it is very, very important to a lot of folks. President Kermit Moore of the local chapter of the NAACP, Aubrey Connor, thank you both for being on the show tonight. Thank you for imparting the truth. And we will keep a very close watch on all of this and see what happens down the road. But thank you both for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Last words.
Yes, sir.
Chip.
Yes, sir.
Thursday, there's a meeting at Riverside Missionary Baptist Church from 5 to 7.
Okay.
XAI is seeking permit from the Tennessee Department of Environmental and Conservation for the water recycling plant. This is a public hearing, and all of your listeners need to show up at Riverside Baptist Church this Thursday from 5 to 7.
You just put it out there, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the work that you guys are doing. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll keep a track on it, okay? I appreciate that.
Thank you, Chip.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is, look, I mean, after a certain point in time, people want some satisfaction, and I think that the noise is starting to generate enough out here to where people are paying more attention to this whole issue. We'll keep an eye on it, as we said before. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the family and the family unit and some training that some of you might need. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Rootstock Wine Merchants. Located at 644 Madison in the Edge District, Rootstock is committed to bringing Memphis wines from small, independent producers with minimal intervention. More information on Rootstock's full selection of wine, beer, and spirits and online ordering available at rootstockmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this warm Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. Our next guest works for an organization, an outstanding organization that helps the overall family unit. Agape Child and Family Services is who I'm speaking of. And they are going to host a very special program. It's the Becoming One program. It is set to provide married couples, single individuals, and fathers with relationship building tools, and they're going to do that through 3 upcoming free workshops this week. Please welcome to the show. The program director of this, he is, I heard you were a minister, so I'm Reverend Jim Harbin Jr. joins the program now. And it's great to see you. Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
I'm glad to be here, and everybody calls me Jim. So,
all right, Jim. Okay. Well, listen, well, you can call me Chip. So we're good.
Right.
Yeah, we're good on that. So, listen, this is quite an event you have coming up this week. 3 separate workshops kind of split with 3 specific programs. One here for married couples, another for single individuals, and another for fathers. All intent to be a relationship building exercise. Tell us a little bit about it.
Also, thank you. This coming Friday, starting June 27th, and then Saturday, June 28th, and then also July the 12th, we're having a relationship building workshops. And it is for married couples, it's for singles, and it's for fathers. And we're excited about it. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to help families have healthy relationships.
That is a very big point, and I want to start there in terms of the family. We always hear about it, right? We always talk about the family, the importance of the family unit, and in terms of raising young folks and a lot of other things. What do you hope folks get out of? And I want to break them down one by one. The family unit component of all of this.
Well, I think one of the things is husbands and wives, fathers and individuals will learn what a healthy relationship actually looks like. And in fact, in some of the workshops, they'll be able to create a vision for what is it that I really want my family to look like, whatever shape that it's in. This would include fathers that are in the home, fathers that are non-custodial dads. They'll be able to be engaged with their kids and then also just learn, okay, so what does it look like in my current situation to be able to have a healthy family? And so we are trying to reach everybody in the reality of the way families look today.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very big issue. Now, you talk about fathers, and I've had so many folks on this show in the past talk about that as as I don't know if it was a reason for, or but to really emphasize the importance of, and you mentioned it, whether you're custodial or non-custodial, the role of the man, especially when there are children involved, in a healthy relationship with their children. Talk a little bit about that.
So it's important, and I think that for years there's been in the system of the government, there's been this push for, in order to receive benefits, sometimes the father had to be outside of the home. And I think now people have recognized that was a mistake. And so now trying to correct that, then one of the emphasis is, one, fathers are needed. Fathers matters. Fathers are important. And so part of our role is in this program that we have, the Fatherhood Initiative, is to honor dads and to make sure dads feel that they're important, that they're vital, and that there's no one else that can take their place in terms of helping to raise children. Mothers have a role, fathers also have a role. And what we're trying to do is to help families, even if they are not in the same household, bridge that gap and to be able to be there for the children, for the family.
That's extraordinarily important, and everything you just said was dead on point. A lot of times, in terms of that family dynamic, if you will, it generates from a disagreement between the woman and the man, and then that turns into something bitter, and well, I'm gonna keep him away from you, I'll keep her away from you, or that kind of thing, and it really becomes a very divisive thing for the child, as you say. And I think you're right when you say there really is an increased importance on making people understand how critically important that is, regardless of whether you're in the house or out the house, correct?
Right. And so one of the things that I grew up with my father in the household with me. But then there's so many people that I encounter every day, and even as part of this work that I do with Agape, and then you mentioned I'm a pastor. And so then in the church, I also see where not everyone has a father in the home.
Right.
And so how do we begin to encourage fathers who would love to be in a relationship with their children? How do we encourage them and bridge the gap between relationships that may not be exactly what they need to be, where the father and the mother are not still in a romantic relationship, but how do they learn to work together in order to make sure that that child has everything that they need?
Yeah, that's a very, very big deal. Now, you also you're dealing with single individuals too. Is there a roadmap that you hope that they can pick up from this event?
Yeah, so one thing I didn't mention is with the fathers. So we have an evidence-based curriculum.
Okay.
And that we are going to teach fathers tools to be in the home and how to have those relationships and how to navigate through some of the issues that they have.
Okay.
And then also for the singles, we also have an evidence-based curriculum that we're using that we know that has been proven that actually works. And it teaches relationship skills for individuals who are unmarried, individuals who are looking to get married, but individuals who are not at this moment in a relationship or not really thinking about marriage, but they're just learning the skills to have a healthy relationship that they can use on their job, they can use with their family, they can use at church, they can just use in life in terms of this is what a healthy relationship, this is how you communicate, this is how you navigate in our world today. And they have tools that they leave the workshop with, and this is how that's done.
This is multidimensional. This is a good thing. Before I let you go, please give folks the information as to the when, and if they have any questions, the contact information, please.
Okay, so the when is this coming Friday and Saturday at the Dwelling Place in Raleigh.
Okay.
And the Dwelling Place is located at 3034 Old Austin P Highway. That's in Raleigh, the 38128 zip code. It's a huge church, the round church. As you're coming off of Austin P, that's where it's located. So that's where it's going to be.
Right.
It's absolutely 100% free. We're even providing meals, but you do need to register so that we can know how to plan for you and have all the materials that's needed for the workshops.
Well, I tell you what, this is, I think this is going to be a very beneficial event for so many people to be involved. Jim Harbin Jr., he's the program director over this special event. Becoming One is the program. And listen, we really appreciate your time. More importantly, we really appreciate what you're doing to try to make people better. Overall, whether you're single, whether you're married, or what have you, the job that Agape does each and every day is a blessing. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the family unit is important, whether you're together, whether you're not together. If you have a child involved in all of this, you need to learn how to act so you can raise a healthy, productive young people. That's going to wrap it up for me on this Monday evening. I hope that you enjoyed the show as Lola wraps us on out of here. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you supporting what we do each and every week. If you like what our content is, please tell somebody about it. Tell us, give us a look, give us a listen. I truly appreciate all of you who continually support the show. The more we know, the more we grow, okay? So let us keep that in motion as well. So for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, for Bryn, and for, here she comes, lovely Lola, ladies and gentlemen. See, that's the highlight of the show right there. Every week, y'all know y'all look forward to seeing Lola at the bank. But for all of us here, including myself, thank you, Memphis. Really appreciate your time and really appreciate you. So between now and the next time, and like I always like to say, in the meantime, in between time, please be safe, please be careful, please be cautious, watch out for this heat, watch out for other folks, and until next time, we are out. See ya.